بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
والنجم إذا هوى ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. We were talking about Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam being with Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam and trying to learn some of the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had gifted Sayyidina Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam. So we talked about three things that Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam did, and Musa alayhi salatu wassalam could not accept seeing these things being done. Number one, he was breaking the plank of the ship. Number two, he killed the boy. And number three, he fixed the wall without charging them anything, whereas he saw the behavior of those people was something that was not acceptable. And now Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam at the end says to Musa alayhi salam, هَذَا فِرَاقُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكَ, that this is the time that I have told you that you're expelled from my school. You can't stay with me no more. I can't teach you because you have no sabr. Then he started explaining, أَمَّا السَّفِينَةُ فَكَانَتْ لِمَسَاكِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ فِي الْبَحْرِ. The reason I was breaking the plank of that ship, because there was a king on their way where they were heading to, and this ship belonged to Limasakin. These people were very poor. So it's not that if they lose this one, they can buy another one easily. This is their means of survival. And there was a king that was coming on their way later on. يَأْخُذُ كُلَّ سَفِينَةٍ غَصْبًا. He used to take every good ship by force from the people who owned the ship. So this king is standing there. Musa alayhi salam doesn't know. Musa and Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam, they left the ship before that. So the ship continued the journey. Now, on their way, a place was coming, like I can say there was like a border in between where a king is standing there with his people, and any person that has a good ship, they will take it. If that ship has any defect to it, then they will not take it. So any defective ship will be left alone, but if the ship is good, it will be taken. If these people would have arrived over there while their ship was without any defect, that king would have taken their ship away. All I did was I put did something there that will look like something is wrong with it. So there is some damage to it. It's not a good ship for the king to take it for himself. So because of that defect in the ship, these people's ship was saved. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, when he heard this, he said, yeah, that makes sense. This is better than losing their ship. Okay. The second thing, why did you kill the boy? And we'll come back to these three things again. I have to ask you, still, what is it our lesson there? Okay, we find out the reason, but we need to know our lesson. That's more important than just knowing the reason. The second thing was he killed the boy. Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam explained that this boy, naturally, he was on a wrong, with a bad nature. And if this boy would have grown up in that family and he would get to the age where he will be able to instruct his parents and lead, take care of his family, he would be misleading the whole family. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of his parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to take this boy away, and through that he will save the iman and the deen of the parents, and he will replace them with another boy. Okay, this really makes sense. That if they lost their son but they didn't lose their iman, alhamdulillah, it's a blessing of Allah. How about the wall? Why did you fix it without charging them anything? They didn't feed us. He said, because that wall belonged to 2 orphans. And this word 2 is very important too. I want you to think why. 2 orphans. It's not 1 orphan. It's not 3 orphans. It's 2 orphans. It belonged to 2 orphans. And these orphans, now where is Musa and Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam? He said, Hatta idha ataya ahla qarya. Where did they arrive? They went to a small town. Could be a village. Qarya. Istat'ama ahlaha. They asked the people of that village to feed them. And they refused to feed them. Now, Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam, when he's explaining, he's saying, أما الجدار فكان لغلامين يتيمين. This wall belonged to 2 orphans. Where were these orphans? في القرية or في المدينة? They were في القرية, في المدينة. According to this, some of Mufassirin say that this was like a suburb where they had a small farm, and the fence of the farm was falling down, and these 2 children were living in the city. So they were living in the city. So I would not be able to find the owners anyway. I'm fixing the wall for someone who is not there. Whoever is there, if he will give us something, some fruit, say if I would have demanded that, okay, I'm going to fix the wall, give me some grapes. The person who would give me the grapes will be haram for us to eat the grapes because he's not the owner, because the owners are in the town and they are orphans, they can't even give it. We can't take gifts from them yet. They're orphans. So these are still young children. So there was no way for us to take anything from them. See, very important point there. That this Qarya and Medina, the difference is telling not just that there was no way for us, even if we wanted to charge them, we could not charge them anything at that time. And then, this wall was about to fall. How badly was the wall damaged? Can we see that somewhere in the Qur'an? How bad was that wall? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that wall situation was فَوَجَدَا جِدَارًا. They found a wall يُرِيدُ أَن يَنْقَضَّ. What does يُرِيدُ أَن يَنْقَضَّ means? Irada is from living beings, it's not from non-living beings. This is a wall. Allah says that wall wanted to fall, which means it was so badly damaged as if the wall itself is saying, I'm falling down now. This is how bad it was. Wordings of Qur'an, amazing and miraculous. Let me just stop for a minute here and remind of, as we talk about the words of Qur'an. This is in Surah Al-Kahf. The story is in Surah Al-Kahf. You know, in Surah Al-Kahf we have the story of the people of the cave. And then Qur'an tells us about how long did they stay in the cave. That story starts at the beginning, ayah number 10. إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم آية number 9 أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says ثم بعثناهم لنعلم أي الحزبين أحصى بما لبثوا أمدا. How long did they stay in the cave? How long did they stay in the cave? 309 years. Qur'an says they remain in the cave 300 سنين, 300 years. وازدادوا 9. And then they lived 9 more years. It doesn't say 309 years. 300. And then it just comes as a separate thing. And وازدادوا. And in addition to that, they lived 9 more years. And this is the difference between the lunar and the solar year. That if we take it, according to the lunar years, it will be 309 years. In 300 years, the difference will be of 9 years between the lunar and the solar years. So it's 300 and it is 309. So both statements are correct. It's 300 and 309. You take whichever you want based on according to what type of year you would take, you will calculate. Amazing, more amazing than this. The story, as I said, as it starts, then in ayah number 12, Allah says, Ahsa bima labithu. What does labitha means? Labitha means to stay. And this is the word labithu. Pay attention now. Labithu, they stayed. And then the story continues and goes all the way. And then at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again used the word وَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ, and they remain in their cave. Okay, again the word labitha is used. So labitha is used there, labitha is used at the end. When people counted the words that come between that labitha and this labitha, is 309 words. Exactly 309 words from the word labitha to labitha. In addition to that, 300 سنين. قُلِ اللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا لَبِثُوا. That's labitha, labithu and labithu. 309 years. Then 300 سنين, the word 300 is coming exactly the number 300, word number 300 in this story. So the 300 is coming to be number 300, and from labitha to labitha is 309. This cannot be coincident. People say the whole world was created coincident. Anyway. And there is a lot of, as I said, every word is miraculous. And then we see when Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam started explaining, he said, سَأُنَبِّئُكَ بِتَأْوِيلِ مَا لَمْ تَسْتَطِعُ or تَسْتَعْ. سَأُنَبِّئُكَ بِتَأْوِيلِ مَا لَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ عَلَيْهِ صَبْرًا. At the end, then he explained everything, and he said, ذَلِكَ تَأْوِيلُ مَا لَمْ تَسْطِعْ عَلَيْهِ صَبْرًا. One letter is taken out. This is also the beauty of this language. According to Arabic language, when you add more letters into the word, same root word, you add more letters in saying it, that means there is more meaning to it. When you reduce the wordings, it's less meaning to it. Musa A S was under a lot of pressure. I want to know the meaning of these 3 things. So he said, I will tell you the meaning of the things that you could not bear. تستطع. And after explaining, the burden went down. So ذَلِكَ تَأْوِيلُ مَا لَمْ تَسْطِعْ عَلَيْهِ صَبْرًا. Your burden is gone now. Therefore, one letter is taken out. Every word of Qur'an. Anyway, that's not the topic. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. Now, Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam explained to him about the boys. He's explaining to him about the boys. That these boys, this wall belonged to those boys. And their father was a pious man. And he buried some treasure for his children under this wall. You know these people of this town. If the wall would fall, these are such a people that if the wall will fall, they see the treasure, they will pick it up. These boys will not get anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to preserve the treasure that their father buried for them. And therefore, Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam fixed the wall for them, so that the wall will be there intact, and when they grow up, they can take it out themselves. They won't lose it, because they are far from here. Someone will take it. And the key word here is وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. Their father was a pious man. Allah wanted to take care of the children of a pious man. Two people, two Anbiya we can say. There is discussion about Khidr alayhi salam being prophet or not prophet, but that's beside the point. Anyway, we see that he receives revelation and he receives wahi from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether he's sent to a nation with a message or not, that's a different topic. So two of these great people are being sent to fix the wall for these boys. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. Their father was a pious man. Imagine how Allah takes care of our family when our deeds are good. When we have salah, when we are stay on the right path, Allah takes care of our family even in this dunya. Many times we feel I have to stay away from the ibadah. I don't have time for masajid, even for Ramadan or for jama'ah, for Qur'an, because I have to work for my children. You tell the person, what are you going to do with all of this money? He said, it's for my family. It's for my children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, whatever you have, if you want your children benefit from it, your good deeds have to be there. That is what's going to save everything that you have for your children. Otherwise, as Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi, when he was dying, someone said, you didn't leave anything for your children? He said, if they are pious, Allah will take care of them. And if they are not, I don't want to help them being bad. I'm not going to leave something for them that they will misuse after me, and I carry the burden. So, أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحٌ. Allah will take care of our families if we are on the right path and we are doing the good deeds. This is in dunya. Subhanallah, Allah is saving their dunya for them because of their father. Now, what is the benefit there? We see here, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam is having question about these three things. But really, if you think about it, Musa alayhi salatu wassalam had gone through these similar three situations before. Can you remember? Musa alayhi salatu wassalam went through the similar three situations before. He punched the man died. Now he's seeing Khidr alayhi salam killing the boy. He's saying, why did you kill him? He has a right. I'm not saying he doesn't have a right. But we are trying to relate things here, to understand the beginning and the end. What will be the second part? Musa alayhi salatu wassalam breaking the ship. Where do we see that? Where do we see that? Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, there was a time when he was also in a box and he was in the water. No one driving it. At least there is a ship here. There are people driving it. There are people who are taking care of it. There are people that are going to maintain it. But he's in the box. Where is he going? What direction is he going to go? In the water, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him, guided him, took him to the right place. What was the third thing? Musa alayhi salatu wassalam objected to? Why did you fix the wall without charging? Where do we see that? When he went to Madian. And I said, remember number two boys, over there 2 girls. They are trying to keep their goats away. And he sees that the people and food of the town are similar type of situation. There is zulm there is oppression there. No one offered Musa alayhi salam food. Same situation. He's hungry, thirsty. No one is offering him anything. And he still gave the water to the sheep or to the goats of those 2 girls free of charge. And he doesn't have no food. Same situation. He's hungry. And he's making dua, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. The difference is, over this situation, the first 3 situations that Musa alayhi salam went through, he sees the worldly asbab, the worldly means behind it, connected to it. Okay, because I punched him, he died. I didn't mean to kill him, but he died. What can I do? His mother put him in the water. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took me to the right direction. Okay. Here the girls, no one is there to help them. Let me help them. Sometime Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts just some between us and the worldly means behind which these things are happening. So you can see you can see that the machine is behind the wall, but the product is coming from this side. Say for example, if we see hole in the wall and milk is coming from there. So now you look, someone tells you, see, the milk is coming from the wall. You say, no, there is a machine behind it. There is a machine behind it. I know that that machine is pumping the milk over here, pumping the water over here, pumping the oil over here. See, we are trying to connect it to the asbab, to the worldly means. Sometime someone will take you from the back and say, see, where is the machine? There is no machine. Now you will be confused. Oh, how come the water is coming? The milk is coming. Just like those Hindus started worshipping the cow because the milk was coming. If the cow is producing them, they're going to worship it. So, but when we don't see the means behind it, this is when we get shocked, because we are so used to seeing worldly means behind everything that is happening. This is the point. We are used to seeing worldly means behind things that are happening. We don't see those, then we try to create our own understanding of it. Someone died. First question everyone will ask you, how did he die? And when the doctors don't even know how did he die, it was a heart attack. Of course, if he died, his heart is going to stop. So, when there is no other explanation, he had a heart attack. Someone who was healthy, good, mashallah, there is no worldly, from the worldly point of view, you can't attribute anything to his death, heart attack. And everyone is satisfied. Oh, this is why he died. Because if you tell them, no, it wasn't even heart attack, then how did he die? See, we need something from the worldly asbab to connect to everything that is happening. Al-Khidr alayhi salatu wassalam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the knowledge to see what's happening behind the scene. Musa alayhi salatu wassalam was given the order of the Sharia where he sees what is happening after the wall, after the barrier. This is the knowledge generally of Anbiya. That okay, they will talk what's happening within the four walls. And whatever behind the scene is ilm al-ghayb, they will inform us about it as they receive the revelation. But the incidents that are happening in the world, what is the purpose, what is the reason, what is the hikmah? This is the knowledge of Allah's hikmah. Anbiya have the knowledge of Allah's sharia. Okay, so they tell us halal, haram, good, not good, this is doable, this is not doable. So they have the knowledge of sharia, they share the knowledge of sharia with us. But so Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam's knowledge was of the reasons behind everything, behind the scene, things that we cannot see. Now we see that sometime we see that a lot of defect in something that we are doing. You look at your house, you compare it with other people's house. Oh, I need a better house. I don't know why my house is always like this. I can't even afford a better house. I don't think for the next 15 years I can afford a better house. You look at your car. Okay, again, you see there is defect in your life. Then you start looking at sometime at your spouse and you say, okay, I made a wrong choice. You see defects somewhere in your life. And we think that this is bad for me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching you that there could be some defect in the ship of your life somewhere, and that it may be saving your life. When you don't see no defect in the ship of your life, you have a problem. Then the person feels, I'm safe. And the day you feel you're safe, that is the day when, God forbid, that person will be drowned. So every time you see some defect in the ship of your life, somewhere, and every person, regardless of who that person is, he sees something somewhere. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us a beautiful lesson, that defect in the ship of your life is a sign that Allah is saving your life. Don't try to just get rid of it by force. Otherwise, you will lose your ship. See, in the relation of husband and wife, simple example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Qur'an, فَإِن كَرِهْتُمُوهُنْ, if you dislike your wife, your spouse, فَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا, you may be disliking something, وَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ فِيهِ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا, in which Allah telling you, Allah will put a lot of khair. You're seeing, good, disliking. Allah says, I'm telling you, there is a lot of khair. We can't see the khair, it's behind the scene. But through that, we are receiving the khair. A person came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, young man, Ya Rasulullah, please talk to my brother. What happened? What's wrong with your brother? He's sitting right there. Okay, what do you want me to tell him? Ya Rasulullah, I'm working all the time. Every day I work morning to evening, and I'm the only person that is earning member of the family. And he just comes, he sits with you every day, and he says, I'm just going there, I want to be with Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I want to learn deen, I want to be educated about deen. So he just comes and sit over here, doesn't work. And I'm working the whole day. Please tell him. Is it an old story or new story? A lot of parents, same thing. My child, talk to him, please. Explain to my child that he says he wants to become alim. Tell him he can't be. Because what is he going to do then? So, this is exactly what that boy is saying. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to him, instead of talking to his brother, he says to him, وَمَا يُدْرِيكَ لَعَلَّكَ تُرْزَقُ بِهِ. You don't know. Maybe Allah is putting barakah in your rizq, in your work, the barakah that is coming in your effort that you're putting there through your brother studying here and sitting over here. So, there is as I said, something somewhere that we don't understand, but there is khair in it. It doesn't mean that if there is problems in life, don't try to fix them. Fix the problem in the right manner, but don't complain. Take care of them in a proper way. The second thing, that the wall was fixed. Where was this wall that was fixed? It was fixed in a town where, according to Musa A S, don't do any favor to these people. So, we see something good happening somewhere in the world, in some house, where we expect some adhab should come, some punishment should come, something wrong should happen, and there should be nothing, at least there shouldn't be no good happening in this town, in this area, in this country. But there may be some weak people in that place that have been taken care of and need to be taken care of, and because of that, those weak people in that society, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of that society. And the boy was killed. Of course, parents must be very sad to see that their child is being killed. They lost their son. Someone killed our child. We don't know who did it. If we found this man, we'll do this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved their iman through this. Any difficulty comes in our life, realize that there is always khair in it. There is in qada and qadar of Allah. Always carries khair, never brings evil to us. If we were to plan for ourselves, we will choose a wrong direction. And many times we end up making mistakes when we make our own choices. Allah says, do this. And I say, I can't do it, Ya Allah. Why can't you do it? Because of this. And we have 100 reasons for not doing it. We are making a mistake. We should realize when Allah chooses something, is always the best thing that He will choose for us. And if we make our own choice, we will end up making wrong choices because we don't know what's behind the scene. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq that we always understand that obedience in Allah and the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the key to success in dunya and akhirah. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqih, Sayyidina wa Habibina wa Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in walhamdulillah.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير